and welcome. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Tonight, Senate Ministerial screening enters final lap tomorrow as Nigerians await the outcome of the exercise with former Governor of Rivers State Pt.1 Amaechi and 17 others. Senate Ethics Committee to submit report on petition against Pt.1 Amaechi before the commencement of the screening exercise. The Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs meet with President Muhammadu Buhari, vow to end Boko Haram on or before the expiration of the December deadline. And Tanzanians upbeat on the presence of the former President Goodluck Jonathan, who is leading a 54-man Commonwealth Observer team for the country's general elections. And on business news tonight, the Nigerian Society of Engineers is set to unveil the country's first national infrastructure deficit scorecard next month.
And on sports news tonight, Arsenal prepare to face in-form Bayern Munich in a Champions League game they cannot afford to lose.
It's a big day for senators tomorrow, and all eyes are on the upper house to see how the screening of the next batch of ministerial candidates will go. But one particular candidate is of interest to Nigerians, and that's because of the heated debates which greeted his nomination as minister. The man in the eye of the storm is the former Rivers State Governor Pt.1 Amaechi, and he's billed to appear tomorrow alongside legal practitioner Adebayo Shitu and 16 others. The screening exercise was shifted to allow the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Ethics and Privileges conclude its findings on the petition raised by a group of people from Rivers State against Mr. Amaechi. The postponement was also at the instance of the police, who needed time to conclude its profiling of the candidates. The screening is expected to take place tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and end on Wednesday. And the chairman of the committee, that's the Senator Samuel Anyanwu, told journalists at the end of the committee's meeting today that the report of the petition against the nomination of Mr. Amaechi would be submitted at plenary. Mr. Amaechi was billed to be screened last week, but the Senate could not proceed with his screening as the committee could not submit its report.
For recovering back life that is lost.
For 2 days last week, the attention of Nigerians was fixed on the National Assembly as the Senate began the screening of ministerial nominees.
Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mrs.
The Senate finally screened and confirmed 18 ministerial nominees.
Nigeria. Those in favor say aye.
The Senate has resolved to continue with the screening exercise. However, the nomination of one of the nominees, former Governor Rotimi Amaechi, has been enmeshed in controversy. Mr. Amaechi has a petition filed against him by a group in Rivers State over allegations of corruption and criminal breach of trust. The Senate forwarded the petition to its Committee on Ethics, Privilege and Public Petition to investigate and report back to the Senate before Mr. Amaechi would be screened. However, the committee was unable to present the report to the Senate last week, and this has stalled the screening of Mr. Amaechi. On-the-ground bickerings and rumors of a division among the senators over the screening of Mr. Amaechi notwithstanding, the chairman of the committee says the report would be submitted on the floor of the Senate.
You've not seen the report, and the report is not ready. We're submitting the report. When it gets to the chamber, Senate plenary, you'll be able to know what is the outcome of the report. I can't comment on that now because it's not ready.
But what do we expect tomorrow at the screening?
You will hear the report.
A federal lawmaker, however, told Channels Television that the Senate would not allow political sentiments interfere with the screening of Mr. Amaechi.
The governor of Rivers is APC. The three senators are... So the governor of Rivers today is PDP. The three senators are PDP. Of course, it's normal. They have their own internal and local politics that they want to play. If there's anything against him that they have, if it is proven, let them bring it out. But you don't witch hunt. You don't deliberately say because our local police or internal police, that's the only reason why we don't like him. We won't take that.
While the committee is set to present the report on the petition against the former Rivers State Governor, it began its investigation on the petition against another ministerial nominee, Aisha Abubakar from Sokoto State. A coalition of women from Sokoto State had written to the Senate asking that Abubakar's nomination be rejected because she was not known to the people of the state. But committee members said the petition is defective because it was not properly addressed to the Senate.
As far as we're concerned, or as far as I'm concerned, this petition is dead on arrival because it's addressed to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not the Senate President.
The chairman of the committee, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, said the committee would still report its findings on the petition to the Senate. Linda Akibi, Channels Television News.
To legal matters now, a court of appeal sitting in Abuja has adjourned indefinitely judgment in the suit filed by the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, against the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The court gave no reason for the indefinite adjournment, but says that a new date will be communicated to the parties involved. The Senate President had filed an appeal challenging the ruling of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, which ordered the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, to arrest and produce him before the tribunal on Monday, September the 21st. In his ground of appeal, Senator Saraki, through his counsel, Joseph Daudu, submitted that the tribunal erred in law and also acted without jurisdiction by assuming jurisdiction over the criminal trial of the appellant for a charge which is being challenged at the Federal High Court. And the magistrate court sitting in the Ebutemeta area of Lagos State has ordered the remand of the police officer who allegedly killed the mother of four, Mrs. Idongesit Ekpo. Chief Magistrate Folashade Botoku ordered that the officer be remanded in prison custody pending the advice of the Directorate of the Public Prosecution. The Defense Counsel, however, asked for bail, which was rejected by the court. Our correspondent Loretta Chiogo reports.
This is the scenario at Court 6, Ebutemeta Magistrate Court in Lagos. The angry protesters are calling for justice for the 34-year-old woman allegedly killed by a trigger-happy policeman known as Corporal Musaliu Aremu, attached to Isheri Osun Police Station in Alimosho local government area of the state. The suspect is smuggled into the courtroom and cameras are shut out of the proceedings, but we catch a glimpse of him from the window. The trial for the day ends and the magistrate adjourns the case to 25th of November 2015, asking that the suspect be remanded in prison custody. The protesters all want justice for the deceased.
Justice is a three-way traffic. To society, to the suspect, and of course, to the complainant.
That family must be adequately and fully compensated. There's no money that can buy the life of that woman. And we also call for this speedy trial of Corporal Aremu Musliu so as to serve as a deterrent to others. We're also using this occasion to call, as I speak, these children, Elijah, who just turned 1. By my left is Mary, 12. By my right is Blessing, 9. My immediate left is Abraham, 7. They were all in with their mother when she was shot dead. They've not been in school since then. It's easy to give verbal commitments. We want scholarship for all these children from now until they are out of the university.
The police have since taken responsibility for the medical care of the deceased's husband, whose jaw was also broken by a bullet on the fateful night. For now, all eyes are on the judiciary for accurate judgment delivery. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
And 29 years after the death of the founding editor of Newswatch magazine, Delegiwa, his strides in the field of journalism remain a reference point. And it's in this regard that journalists in Nigeria have been urged to be more professional in their reportage to accelerate the development of the nation. This advice is coming from a US-based activist and mass communication expert, Professor Matthew Atobe, while speaking at a forum in Abuja to mark the anniversary of the death of the journalist. The convener Mr. Richard Akinola also advised journalists to keep abreast of new trends in the profession. Well, all is now set for President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Cross River State, South Nigeria, and the excitement continues to grow amongst indigents of the state, less than 24 hours to the flag-off of one of the biggest road projects in the country by Mr. President. Speaking in Calabar, the state capital, the state governor, Ben Ayade, shares in the excitement of hosting the #1 citizen. He remains optimistic about the benefits that the superhighway project will bring to the state and its neighbors. In part 2, after the break, Chief of Defence Staff promises to end insurgency by December. Back to the moment. He joins again.